Onto the political corner, BFFs, or is it the you can sit with us moment fast approaching? Beijing is fearing Russia becoming a minor power under, quote, crazy Putin, at least according to the Financial Times. I-24 News' Batya Leventhal is joining us now from our studios in Tel Aviv. So Batya, is she just not feeling it anymore with his bro Putin? Is Putin becoming a geopolitical burden?
Ellie, I'm not sure I'd go as far as to say a geopolitical burden, but what has been made pretty clear is it almost appears like Xi Jinping and China are writing the sequel to the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And they play the diplomatic hand so brilliantly. The reality is that, yes, there were comments put out by senior Chinese officials to the Financial Times saying that they do believe that Russia is not likely to win this war and thus will put them in the bracket of what they consider to be a minor power, but that doesn't mean that its relations with Moscow in terms of their bilateral ties, in terms of their diplomatic efforts, will cease to exist. It also just means that they are perhaps pointing reality as it is, or that they have some insight from their Russian counterparts that perhaps the West doesn't know just yet.
And also, even if China doesn't believe Russia can win the war, Beijing still has much to gain from maintaining its relationship with the Kremlin, even just for the sake of using Putin as a bargaining chip vis-a-vis the West.
Absolutely. The biggest bargaining chip on the table here is when it comes to nuclear powers and disarmament. That's the bargaining chip that Xi Jinping is holding in his hands right now, that there is this connection, or at least a close connection with Russia, that they are able to possibly sway Putin not to be using or even contemplating bringing nuclear weapons to the table in terms of this war, but obviously also keeping in mind that the West are likely to turn to China should they need some kind of assistance in terms of bringing Russia to the negotiating table, to the peace tables, and trying to come up with some kind of a deal that would see them likely end the war as soon as possible. And so China really playing this diplomatic card so well, and their balancing act that they are known to have here between the two of them, although it's going to be interesting to see, since this article has been published, how Russia is going to view China, calling them a potential minor power.
Right. And Batya, before we let you go, tell me if I'm being completely far-fetched here. Maybe it's all because the war will be over soon, according to Xi's assessment, preparing the ground for some post-war reconstruction games?
I mean, I hope that that's not a far-fetched outcome in anyone's minds, that the war would be over soon. But in terms of China, their Belt and Road Initiative, there's no doubt in my mind that China is already preparing to what they could offer Ukraine in terms of reconstruction of a country that's been so badly hit, and offering that kind of assistance would also put them in a great line with the West, and also make sure that they are there voting as well as per usual on Russia's side. But I definitely do see them putting through their hand, offering not only the reconstruction, but a potential mediator. If Benjamin Netanyahu is not quick enough to jump in there, perhaps Xi Jinping will.
Okay, interesting enough. I-24 News' senior correspondent and anchor, Batya Leventhal. Thank you.